around at. That's one of the things that does happen when you go with this kind of opening from TNC.
Ember Spirit.
Cignal Ultra goes straight into the Ember Spirit, and of course we do see the Embers quite a lot, especially even back in the day up against this Gyrocopter IO, because they're always together, so you can always almost guarantee a double chains. And of course the Ember can just blow up the IO before even starting the team fight. It makes me question, what year are we in, John? These drafts, they're just... feels like it's like 5 years ago, and it's like TI3 or TI4 or something like that. TNC Predator.
It does. It really feels like a blast from the past. And
yes.
Yeah, we'll see exactly
Cignal Ultra
what
goes
they have
straight
in
into
mind
the
to
Ember
wrap around
Spirit.
this.
Of course we do.
We could see... I don't think they're going to go all the way back to the past, like with something like Disruptor. You tend to not see that here too often, but I can see a couple things that could come out. The Shadow Shaman is, of course, really good. Up against that Ember Spirit, gives you that instant lockdown of the Hex and the Shackles to keep that slippery hero in place. So I like that from TNC Predator. Just keeping a lid on how far Cignal Ultra can push that hero. James, you're not going to have the easiest time getting in and out this time around.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Cignal Ultra.
It's radiant.
Fourth pick now.
Axe.
They'll go for the Axe pickup, so an Axe offlane coming out for this Dire side. Another nice pick against the Gyrocopter IO. Again, if you can just catch both in the call, they can't really do much to sustain that Gyrocopter while the call is going on, unless you have an OD to just Astral one of those heroes away, or even the Axe for that matter. And of course the OD is just generally really damn good against the Axe and the Ember. So TNC already looking pretty darn good going into this.
Definitely are. I do think that Cignal Ultra, taking that Axe in is nice, but
5 seconds.
it's actually kind of hard when you are playing against a ranged core. They tend to stand further back. It's much harder to catch them in a clumped up area with anything else that could proc your Helix. I like the ban out from TNC. Banning out that Brood does take away... Oh my god. What is that hero? What?
What's going on here?
What?
Oh, that's disgusting. The Sniper comes out for Cignal Ultra. KP's Underlord pops up. I am very confused, John. As we were last happened, it seems like everyone's just lost their minds. Is it getting too late for these guys or something?
Look, Underlord is a hero I love.
That's the problem. It's a terrible hero.
Yeah, exactly. It's not doing too well right now. I believe the only reason you take it in right now is because of the relocation tool you have with the IO, perhaps, and that durability that you naturally bring into yourself. You mitigate the damage coming out here from the enemy team. Although there's not anyone that really right-clicks too much except Nando, and Jamesy's going to be out of range. But it's an interesting choice nonetheless. It gives you a good amount of control. I guess holding people down during the call down and during the middle of the team fights with your pit is quite strong. The last pick from Cignal Ultra is what also raises a question mark in my mind. Jamesy's Sniper is going to be interesting to watch. I'm honestly not too sure why the Sniper came out here. I mean, they have the Axe, but Axe hates playing against the Sniper. Playing with the Sniper is just kind of okay for him. Gonna be interesting to see what exactly they have in mind here. We have seen the Sniper once before in a match, and I do believe it actually lost. So we'll see if Cignal Ultra can make it work for them here. They did jump into it fairly quick. Nando and that Ember Spirit is an interesting shakeup. I think, in my mind, I do see Nando as a phenomenal Faceless Void player. So seeing him on the Ember should be interesting. It's a change of pace for Cignal Ultra. We'll see if they can match the aggression that TNC Predator is known to pump out. Even with this lineup, they don't tend to relent. And they really just keep that pressure up. And tied through that early aggression, they might get enough space for themselves to get big.
Prepare for battle.
Tips. It's kind of intriguing to me you do go for the Sniper, Considering Gabby could just essentially get relocated straight on top of the sniper and just blow him up straight away. Bit of a worrying sign. They must have a lot of faith in Jamesy on this sniper to play this in a game like this. I mean, they did last pick it. Still. Then again, KP's playing Underlord. Maybe it's a really good hero and we just don't know, John.
I mean, I know. There was a moment where we saw a lot of Underlord last year, and he was just all over the place just because of the strength of his flash farming, of course, as a core.
Let's be honest, Jax.
And yeah,
You could
off lane,
become
Firestorm is just really strong to clear out camps and clear out heroes. It's just that that kind of playstyle has really diminished over time. So I mean, KP has done a fantastic job so far throughout all these close qualifiers. So of course, if there is a player that can make this work, it's KP. Let's see what exactly they do have in mind, as it looks like they will send KP to lane against Van.
Time to raise bloody hell.
Well, Van theoretically may struggle in this lane, right? Like the Firestorm isn't the most pleasant thing to have to go up against for an Axe. Van might even lane switch already, as March is harassing quite heavily. What's he up to here? Is he just going to creep skip straight away? Looks like he may. Though it's not going to be pleasant when a Shadow Shaman who has 74 right-click damage already is just going to be smacking up onto you. Van going to turn around now. He is waiting for that creep wave. He's going to try and pull it away. And yeah, he'll just pull it away, though. No, he's lost it. He doesn't actually stop. Salves up. Meanwhile, top lane, Io's in trouble. Tims, he will end up going down. The tri-lane of Cignal pays off very early on. And Van, he does end up catching the wave again. And so he is going to continue this creep skip, but he's going to ensure he's in front of that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, it's fair enough. He should be able to find himself a good amount of EXP this way. And he's going to be very happy with that. Does grab his level 2. It's going to be harder for March to trade this way.
It's that mid lane, the Jamesy sniper versus Armel's OD. It's slightly annoying for Armel, just getting right click every 2 seconds. Yeah, quite annoying little bit of harassment from the sniper. And Armel can't really close the distance too easily to go for the Astral Imprisonment. Tims, again, going to end up going down top lane.
Have been schooled.
It's rough. It's not the best dual lane in the world when you're applying this much pressure with a tri-lane. Io is very squishy early on. The Teeter is, interruptible now, if I recall right. So you can't quite just get in and out. And it takes a couple of levels for the potency of that gyrocopter to really kick in. So this is some good work coming out from Cignal, just applying that pressure onto TNC.
Mid lane. Armel gonna end up going down. Shrapnel's out. Eris really setting up. Already 3 kills from this Tiny being set up. They'll lose Armel now. And Eris will just go straight back up to the top lane. Tims is by himself. This could be disastrous for him as Eris runs past, will find Tims, has the toss available, doesn't quite use it, and now he does. Grimm's disruption, no, he will throw it out. Eris will just wait with the avalanche, so Tether will be there, but they can still chase this. But Eris has to be careful about the rocket barrage. And so Tims will get away with his life intact, but man, is this lane rough.
It certainly is rough, and I like these early movements coming out from Cignal, maximizing their early advantage here. Knowing that TNC did go for a draft that farms quite hard. That OD requires some farm to get online. KP's Underlord does just farm up, really. That's all the hero does in the laning phase. And the Gyrocopter as well needs EXP and farm along with that IO. So they're going to be really weak in this laning phase. Cignal is just abusing that quite well. That could cost TNC if they're not going to find an opportunity to bounce back in. Does look like they rotate March up top to try to get themselves some space for Gabby.
Yeah, deny.
March gonna be there with Tims, looking for Grims on the Shadow Demon. Doesn't really have a way to lock down Grims though quite yet. And an avalanche from Eris to the toss back to the Shadow Demon Grips. And they do interrupt that tether. And Tims is going to die for the third time this game.
Another.
All 3 kills going to the way of Nando on the Ember. And so 0-4 right now for the side of Cignal. And if they can keep this up, they may indeed take the first game off TNC.
Yeah, that would be a massive upset just in terms of the odds. A lot of people are still favoring TNC here, and Cignal is just showing them why you can't underestimate these guys. They just can cause these kinds of early game upsets, and if they carry that momentum, there might not be enough space for TNC to farm up. The only hero finding really good farm right now is KP. He's already 6 at 4.5 minutes in, so he's having a grand old time down here at bot. The question is, will an Underlord influence the game that hard?
Well, you know, we didn't think the core Undying would before, and it did. We didn't think the position 1 Pudge would, and it did. I wonder if the Underlord is the next new hero to pop up in this meta. For SCA anyway. Nando gonna run in after March. Eris is there with the avalanche if necessary. They're gonna catch March out. Nando now on a dominating, and he might find a secondary as he's chasing Tims down. Tims is very, very low. He does not have tether. He's gone. A double kill for Nando. Eris making a run. Rocket barrage. Nando may have gone too far forward now, but no, Grims is there just in case. And that's gonna mean a 5-0 now for this Ember Spirit.
It's a fantastic start for this safe lane Ember. Nando once again showing us why he is a really good safe laner. We see this from Cignal every single time so far. They just give Nando all the opportunities to find these kills, and Nando does not relent. He's not the kind of court to stay back, farm up. He tries to find these kills as well. Active, staying with his team. In fact, there's some activity down mid again. Armel could be in a tough spot.
Van's getting chased down. Armel, he gets tossed back towards the T1 tower. Van is still outrunning them and will be able to run away. So 3 heroes could not catch out the axe. He'll just salve up and probably return back into the lane. Armel also gets away with his life intact though. And well, nobody's been up the top lane. KP says, you know what, let me take care of this Ember Spirit. Nando will oblige. It's a bit late to make this lane switch now that Nando's gotten that much gold out of golden XP out of this lane, but it's KP's problem now. Zarmel, mid lane, assassinate, gonna come out from Jamesy. Won't be enough as the Fairy Fry did come out from Armel. Now the toss back from March. And Eris again setting up what looks to be another kill. He will pick it up himself on the Tiny. That's a 1-7 now for the side of Cignal Ultra. Slight net worth lead as well. It's not overly massive, but it is getting there.
It's a rough start for TNC. We haven't seen these guys pushed against a wall like this in a long time. Certainly not in these qualifiers, and they are taking it from Cignal. Cignal is definitely bringing that aggression out and working their draft to its fullest potential. It is a bit worrying, but very good signs of life from Cignal. I am really keen to see how they itemize on Jamesy this time around. Are they going to go for something a bit different? Maybe rush that Maelstrom first, or opt for the Dragonlance for the added range, durability? Gonna be interesting to see how this progresses either way. But KP, he's still got 2 levels ahead of Nando. He's working this Underlord quite well, maximizing that farm with the Firestorm, and in that sense really just building up, clearing out stacks made by Cignal as well.
Well, bot lane. Dunk straight on Gabby. Tims sitting duck now. He understands he's just dead. Van was going to dunk him, but Eris will take the kill on the Tiny. And that'll help with the Blink Dagger timing once again for this Tiny. And a 1-9 now. Gyrocopter really hasn't got much farm going for him, Gabby. He's been struggling quite a lot.
Thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall.
Ooh, that assassinate nearly took out KP as he was going to that shrine. Not quite enough. I believe the cloak might have just given him a little bit of an edge on top of that slight regen he got from the shrine right before he got assassinated.
Eris, Grims, trying to get away from the side of TNC as they do chase the Tiny. The disruption will be enough to ward TNC off.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And while all that's happening, Van, he will just secure the T1 bot tower. And it's not like Cignal Ultra are overly farmed. I mean, they are just finding kills very early on. TNC certainly still in this game by a long shot. I mean, there's only a 1k advantage right now. It's just, what timing will it be till TNC can actually fight back? Because it just feels like they've got no hope of fighting back for the moment.
And certainly at this moment, it's not feasible for them to take these fights. You're probably going to be waiting for at least more levels on this IO, maybe level 6 coming out in Tim's, along with a couple of durability items for KP to allow them to sustain that bombardment coming out from Cignal. Once he has the Hood of Defiance, if he's going to transition to the pipe, that's going to be helping out his team massively. But he might be able to find Nando, but he does... Oh, he's going in.
Sends a Remnant out. March doesn't have Hex yet. He only has Shackle, although he does hit level 4. Picks up the Hex. Looks like bot lane disruption is going to be there on Gabby. They're going to make a chase, but he does have help around the corner. Armel, he'll go for the Astral. Do they want to try and turn this? It doesn't look like they will, as Eris does pop his face up on the Tiny. Instead, they will go for bounties. And, well, no, Nando does not want to allow them to take these bounty runes for themselves. He does get shackled, however. He may just need to walk out of there now. And in the end, it will be a 2-for-2 trade on those bounty runes after a little bit of a scuttle.
Yeah, overall, it's still a really good time here for Cignal. Still applying that pressure on the map. They have secured themselves a 2k net worth lead now. You do want to see that escalate a bit more, but TNC is certainly still in the game. They've managed to finish up that Veil of Discord onto Armel, so he has some tools to really take these fights now. At the very least, pump up the damage a bit more. In fact, he finds Eris, but unable to get anything done. And it's on TNC to just kind of farm up here. Right? They have a lot of catch-up to play, especially on Gabby.
No.
Except straight after that, there's that Spirit Vessel we talked about from Nando as well on the Ember. With that, he may look to make more plays with his team. Thing is, TNC are rather split up and aren't really showing on the map.
Yeah, they're just, again, taking it slow, trying to split up that farm here.
There'll be no defense
Now, I want to talk about something else for a bit, Mike, while the state of the game is still kind of static. There is one situation where we will have two tiebreakers, and I'm not sure if this is going to make you very happy, Mike. If TNC somehow managed to 2 Otis, that does bring Geek Fam down. That does bring Ultra down to 1-2-1. Guess who else is 1-2-1 right now?
Who's that?
In score? Geek Fam is also 1-2-1. So if TNC somehow rides through this wave, 211, 2k net worth lead for Cignal, and turn it around, and then get the next game as well, Mike, we'd have 2 tiebreakers running, and isn't that amazing?
Well, that's okay, John. We don't need to sleep.
We don't get paid to sleep, Mike.
No, we don't. That is true. Mid lane is pushing in by the creeps. Nando, though, is going to be looking for a target to try and jump on. Doesn't really find one. Nobody on the side of TNC is really staying alone. Everyone has their own little partner, apart from KP, who is rather tanky. Can't afford to be alone on the Undying, or excuse me, the Underlord. Blade Mail now will be up for Axe. That's going to really help Van dish out even more damage during those calls. He's already level 12 as well. Like, Prize Cignal Ultra isn't trying to really push the push this or whatever it is, just push this matter against TNC and just force them to try and fight.
it is a bit of a risk right now that they are letting TNC play this catch-up gold. The lead that they have with kills does not translate to a very good net worth lead. 2K with 9 kills ahead is not amazing. Honestly, it does not paint you the full picture. There is a smoke now though. Cignal still applying that pressure, trying to find someone.
Might find Tim's. Nando spots him out. Pops the haze rune. Doesn't get the chains off though. Doesn't matter. Avalanche is there to set up and they just dunk straight away. KP tried to TP in time to help out, but just wasn't there fast enough. Now do they even bother trying for the Underlord? No, Nando, he just goes straight behind onto the Shaman. Tries to juke out with the Remnants, but not quite. Avalanche still will help out in taking down March. They hold him in place, but Van with the call is pretty massive. Gabby almost dead. In fact, the Assassinate does take him out. Van trying to run away from Armel. Armel will at least find one. But they do lose 3 in the process. And Eris is pretty low as well. Tim's gonna scout out with those spirits. Armel, who'll have a blink in 1 second. They'll have to leave it be as Eris does blink away. And so 3 to 14. Net worth remains the same at 2K for the side of Cignal Ultra. No, they will not.
Few buybacks on some pretty hefty heroes. I think the buyback on KP is the biggest one. So you have a massive opening here for Cignal if you abuse that fact. But it looks like TNC is going to be happy with that. Just staving off that Roche fight, getting themselves more time to farm, and trying to get themselves online. Now, Gabby on this gyro still has a lot of catch-up to play. He's at 8.5k net worth. You take a look at number 1, 13k. That is the sniper. Second place, Armel, OD, 12k net worth. So it's not a good picture right now. He does have that PKB, but the damage is lacking, the EXP is lacking. There's a lot more to work with, to work towards for TNC.
Well, smoke comes out from TNC now. Seemingly confident. Armel got his BKB up. Maybe that makes all the difference. He still didn't pop at that last team fight. Mid lane though, who have they found? KP gets caught out. They've got the high ground advantage here if they want to try and dive this TNC, but the Roshan again going to be taken. Still a great ideal way to try and jump Jamesy right now as he's kind of in the back. They are going to go in. Armel will get started. Astral Sanity's being dropped immediately. James, he's in an awkward position, but, well, errors. Avalanche toss. Tims is gone. James, he's been left alone. March goes down as well. Nando, does he keep going? He got the Chain Spirit Vessel straight onto Gabby, and he'll probably just tick out. In fact, the toss will be there anyway. They lost another in Grims, and Armel just got to try and run away. It's a 2-for-4 trade in the end. Still working out in the favor of Cignal Ultra. Especially if they find Van. Astral will be there. Eris won't be able to cancel that TP. As a TNC, I mean, although they did lose 4 in comparison to the 2 of Cignal, they actually got quite a bit of gold out of that.
They certainly did. It's on their biggest hero as well, so Armel is definitely going to be happy with that. He is going to be working towards that sheep stick instead, so the Sight of Vice is going to be coming out. Just trying added control. We have seen a lot of ODs once that item was picked up. Very easy to press anyone down in that Sanity's Eclipse. So we'll see if that changes the pace here for TNC, if they manage to get the time to farm it up. 6 to 21, 25 minutes in. 7k net worth lead for Cignal. Still looking fantastic for them. They're still finding everything on this map. And they are still very effective in these team fights.
Bot lane Nando. It's going to be Tims and Gabby, and he'll immediately remnant out. March, top lane, has gone pretty far, may get caught out because of this. Van blinks forward, wants to find him. Armel is there though. That is a dangerous kill to try and go for, but Armel just leaves him. Serpent Ward's being dropped. March has been left alone.
Oh man.
What a shame.
And those wards are the big one. Just that cooldown is pretty massive. It's a good amount of gold going away of Cignal as well, which is unfortunate. I think March expected Armel to stay around there, but Armel knew better. He knew that there would be backup. Still pretty close by that shrine. So he saves himself. A bit of a waste from March, but it's all good. You save your OD. Armel just goes back to farming, saving up for that Sight of Vice.
KP going to be in position to try and defend that tier 1 top tower. Nando won't push too far forward. NC slowly but surely getting farm up on Gabby. It's like he may have the full Ags up. In fact, he just needs the Ogre Club now. The Ags won't really change too much quite yet, but at least it's a start for Gabby. You look at James, he's Got the Hurricane Pike up. I believe it's on the Courier. And I kind of wonder what he goes for next. But in terms of farm, he's top of the net worth board again. And he still hasn't got one really big, massive damage item yet. He's just the Maelstrom is all he has. This is that point. Once you get the Hurricane Pike, you can just go for something big, like a Daedalus or something like that, to really start escalating that damage output.
My apologies.
It really will speed up once that next item is revealed. I take a look at his talent choices. I actually really like this. He went for cooldown reduction, and on top of that, he got the Assassinate cast time. So it's just going to be plinging away to its Assassinates. Not much of aim period, just 0.5 seconds. So if there is a kill op, should be very easy to follow up.
Mel, though, he has the Scythe of Vice up now on the OD. Well, let's find up very, very well. Look at KP, and he's trying to go for what looks like a Lotus Orb. They're just trying to get those aura items up, help out the team. Of course, the Aghanim Scepter did just finish as well on the Gyrocopter. Look at James, he just attacking that tier 1 tower from a mile away. Nando gonna show himself. Bit of Malice will be there to hold him in place for a bit. Tier 1 tower, KP, he'll get the deny off. Nice deny from him. That'll be the end of that.
Yeah, just a safe push coming out from Cignal. No rush from these guys. They know they have the Sniper. They have the Ember Spirit. They have the Tiny that scales as well. No rush for them. They understand that TNC does have ways of taking these fights as well. I'm not sure if they spotted out that Hex on Armel just yet, but there is a smoke now from TNC.
Eris gonna find Tims by himself. The Gyro is kind of close by and he will just tether forward, though Eris is not giving up. Relocate, Tims, he's left Gabby behind.
Oh.
Gabby has a TP in 5 seconds. They kind of know the shrapnel is slightly to the left. James, will you throw another one? Throws it the other way, though. He's found him.
They find him.
The Aghanims actually attacks Jamesy. So the side gunner reveals his location in the end. And now Tims with the relocate gonna end up dying as well. Oh my. This is not working out very well for the TNC side.
It definitely is. This is really highlighting the weakness of the IO gyro combination against the wrong lineup. Cignal has been abusing the fact that it takes a while for it to go in line now. So they go with a lineup that just gets up there in a snap, applies that pressure. They are set for the high ground push now if they so desire.
Uh-oh. There's the Aghanim Scepter for the Ember Spirit.
Oh, on work already. March, not safe.
Yeah, March. Trying to run. TP is actually maybe gonna... No, he's not. He's dead.
No. Nando now, 9-0. Not dying once yet. Really on point, as always, for Cignal.
Fortification will be forced out. KP gonna try and defend as the Underlord. March may be forced to buy back, though. Avalanche is gonna be there from Eris. Who's he aiming for? Stuck in the tree line. Will force himself out of there. They just want this tier 3 tower, I believe, before they do back out. Meldo jumps in with the Hex, but there's the call from Van. Straight away stopping that harassment. Van dealing damage by the Blade Mail. Gabby will be KB up as well, but Tim's getting jumped on by Nando. Still nobody dying quite yet. Nando just wanting to get out with his team. Everyone kind of low, and TNC, they want to try and capitalize off this the best they can. But it does look like Cignal Ultra are out of there. And yep, they'll just TP up. That'll be the end of that.
Rather unfortunate that they didn't manage to get that tier 3 down bot, but they do a lot of damage to it. Drops down to 330 HP, should be a very easy cleanup the next time they take that high ground. There is a smoke out in TNC though. Looks like they want to force a fight again.
They want Nando. They know he's around here somewhere. Hex will be straight out onto the sniper instead. Sanity's being dropped, but there's the disruption. They've got no way to really save him after this, though, and Gabby does pick up the kill. Now the Yules from KP onto that support Shadow Demon. Nando, while he has a double damage, can't really help out though. Van jumps in with the call. They're going to go for the fight. Blade Mail popped as well. They get one. In fact, no, they don't. The Astral saves him, but, well, the Dark Rift will get him out. So they got Tim's. KP will send him out of there. Buyback was there from Grims on the Shadow Demon as well. So 7k net worth lead, 8 to 26, 33 minutes into this game. Win probability, believe it or not, is still almost 50-50. Only slightly the way of Cignal Ultra by 3%.
I honestly don't blame them. Again, you take a look at that scoreboard, 8 to 26 seems pretty terrifying, but the net worth lead has never really swung too far. 6k, that's the highest it's been so far.
Oh, Van finds a solo kill onto Gabby. This is definitely not Gabby's game on the Jara. He's having a very rough time.
Really is. Just, his timings are off. His farm has been subpar for his standards. It's really not a shining show for him. Fortunately enough, Armel is picking up the pace here. She's really doing a lot of work for TNC right now. On top of that, KP has been on point with his spell usage. Just that retreat and him using that Dark Rift whenever you need to. Really paying off dividends.
Cignal. Looks like they're gonna pop a smoke. Grims is holding one in the bag right now.
Relocate?
Down the bot lane. Just a quick farm up. The Cignal Ultra did draw out a line around the Radiant Shrine, and KP gonna actually run into them. Grims gonna try and scout him out. They do get the call off once again. Van just on point, but Armel jumps in. He wants the fight. Disruption is there on Armel. They're gonna find March, but no, the Hex comes out from Armel to save Shadow Shaman. The Assassinate will find him in the end. Nando BKB's up. He has to run his way out. He has no remnants available. James has been left alone. He'll just man fight Gabby, and poor Gabby, he has the BKB up just to get away. And so another little win for Cignal Ultra. They force out the buyback from KP and they will find 2 kills. TNC though are still holding on.
They definitely are. They're trying not to bleed as much space as possible. Still keeping themselves somewhat alive. That is another buyback on KP though. That's the second buyback he's had to throw out to prevent any more losses. Which, in a sense, is worthwhile.
Armel has caught out the Tiny. Nice little pickup for the side of the Radiant. It will be Armel to pick up Eris. That's the one thing that's the one hero you can't really walk into. You walk into Armel, it's probably going to mean you're dead. They will go after that bot T1 tower, which is still standing down at the bot lane. Do they go for more? Looks like they are going to try, so they're going to push the issue here down to the bot. Go for that tier 2 as well. Just take advantage of every tower they can get. Nando basically doing the same thing down to the bot lane with those double siege creeps. Armel though will TP down, but the job has already been done. In fact, nice deny from Armel. Just quickly. In fact, both towers have been denied. Jamesy got the other tier 2.
Fairly even trade from both sides. You take a look at that map now. Even in terms of map control. Quite equally matched. Mid lane, tier 2s, last one standing. The only difference is that tier 3 down bot is heavily injured. So it's down to Cignal again to force the issue. Try to find out first tier 3 of the match. But they are kept in severe check here. 8k net worth lead at 9 to 29 scoreboard. 37 minutes in. And we have not progressed as much as you'd expect. But there is a slow build up here. They might find March once again.
Chains, yep. Nando, he will confirm the chains. And Nando, that'll be his 11th kill of the game. Still yet to drop a death on this Ember. Has picked up the Lincolns as well. You've also got the Tiny Aghanim Scepter up on Eris, so Tree Volley is alive. And perhaps with that they go down to the bot, because Like, the bot lane is so easy to push in once you've got that tree volley available. That Lincoln's on the Ember, those hexes aren't going to be quite as threatening. Cignal, go through to that mid lane. They want that tier 2 tower first. They'd love a fight from TNC, but TNC are taking the most cautious fights they possibly can. They aren't taking any risks. So they might even split push that top lane a bit. But Tim's with the relocate. We'll send Gabby out. Should force a rotation back up to that top lane to defend, but perhaps Cignal just say, screw that, let's go back down bot. That is exactly what they do for now. TNC may not actually go for the team fight, but rather just force them back with Gabby and Tims. Jamesy does get the tier 3 tower, and it looks like that'll be it. They're going to go after the shrine instead.
Just a lot of patience from both sides. Going for the safe objectives, going for the safe kills. Surprised that the Roche has not been a consideration. Like, the first Roshan is still in the pit. So it's just the Aegis at 39 minutes in.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
I have Scotty now on the sniper, so Jamesy. Then I have Scotty can just slow down people from such a long mile away, and there's not much they can do about it. Gonna be going into that Daedalus as that final item, I believe, on that sniper. Has put it in the quick buy. Bot lane, Tims and Gabby. Split pushing that tier 3 tower, relocate back out. And so they are just going to rat this out as much as they possibly can. If they keep that up, they'll find a tier 3 tower of their own very soon.
Yeah, that's some pretty smart play coming out from TNC, just maximizing that relocate. They know they can't take these fights, so they just take objectives. And it has been paying off to a certain extent so far. Take a look at the KP as well. You have to remember, if there is an opening, they can Dark Rift in and really push hard. You have to be very aware of that Underlord's presence around the map.
Nando.
Haven't seen it happen yet.
Nando's playing with fire with this Invis rune. He's feeling very confident just running through the map. So that Roshan you talked about may finally be taken out. Though no, Cignal. It's baiting us out a bit. They've given enough time now that the Satanic is up on Gabby. Suddenly Gabby isn't hitting so low anymore. He's actually kind of up there in net worth, and he's basically your standard gyrocopter now. He's going to have the Maelstrom up, the Mjolnir up soon as well. TNC, I mean, they've dragged this out so long that, I mean, Cignal Ultra, I mean, you still have faith in the sniper, but...
Relocate. At tier 3. Might be gone.
Remnant in. Nando wants to punish Tims, gets Spirit Vesseled, and well, there's the Astral Toss. They'll find one. Gabby, BKBTB, a tree volley, it's a lot of damage, Van. He'll dunk him. There's the tip straight off the bat.
They got the tier 3.
They got the tier 3. They got what they came for, but it does cost them heavily. And Cignal have two options. Go for a tier 3 tower or a Rax, or go for the Roshan. Looks like they may opt for the Roshan.
Yeah, it's the safer choice. It will secure them that high ground as well, so Roche is going to be taken. No contestation coming out from TNC, not with those two heroes dead. And they're just going to have to give that up.
Now KP actually has a hard up on the Underlord. So getting a lot tankier. This hero. TNC just not anywhere near this Roshan pit. They're just not interested.
has fallen.
Mel actually has an Eye of Skadi up now as well. And he's going to go into that Hurricane Pike. And it's a very late one on the OD, but it just feels like it's necessary. We'll see the relocate once again from Gabby and Tims. They'll go back down to that bot lane and keep forcing it in. Try to slow siege this Rax. Never allow the side of Cignal Ultra to feel comfortable on this map.
They have been doing a really spot-on job there. Just still finding these objectives around the map. Still forcing pressure onto Cignal. In fact, a smoke Dark Rift.
I like this. You'd never assume TNC would be down to the bot lane this fast, but if they can find a team fight, they could take a really quick Rax, and you never really know. They could finish the game, in fact. Buyback statuses? Still a lot up. So not quite there, but the sniper doesn't have the gold for it. Van will show up. Immediate hex from Armel. They're going to punish. They're going for more. Jamesy, he can't die like this. He doesn't have buyback available.
Oh, no.
Era's tree volley. Avalanche toss, protect the sniper. It's going to be enough for now, but the sanities has been dropped. Sniper's still alive, though they do go down. Van saving the day for now. Armel getting chased down by Jamesy. Can they take the OD down? Well, of course they can, but Tims is trying to relocate him out while he can. Armel still surviving. Not quite. Eris, assassinate. Tims will get out just in the nick of time. And somehow Cignal Ultra, they still win the team fight.
That did cost them a dieback on their axe, but they do manage to hold out. They did actually they actually managed to hold out there. They lost the Aegis, not the biggest loss in the world. It looked decent, but they overextended for TNC. Now they might lose KP.
He has a heart, he's pretty darn tanky. He has Dark Rift in 15 seconds. He just needs to buy himself time. He doesn't have much of it though, as Eris jumps in with the Avalanche toss. Still, pipes up, 3 more seconds. That's all he needs. And there it is.
My purpose fulfilled.
See ya. Still, the mid lane is being pushed in by Jamesy. Not the fastest siege in the world just by himself, but he's getting the work done. And he'll move forward onto KP, but of course he did learn the hard way. KP is very, very tanky right now. The Sniper Illusion's really helping the cause up thanks to that Shadow Demon. Mid-Rax March, he'll go in with the Hex. There's just no follow-up to the Ember. 3 volleys being thrown. Eris, he cleans up the mid-Rax, but now Gabby wants to go for it. Eris, he will force stuff himself out and get out. Jamesy does manage to get out of there. Pit of Malice wasn't there in time. Nando will surely get out as well.
Rune of invisibility.
And so we do finally have the first Rax of the game going the way of Cignal Ultra at 46 minutes into this game. And win probability still at around the same mark.
Yep, it's wild. The game doesn't think it's done yet. I mean, you look at the net spread advantage, it's 14k, 13k. It's been climbing steadily for Cignal, to be fair. But it's really not as high as you'd expect. They are being kept in check by the farming capabilities in TNC. They are playing catch-up quite well. You are seeing Gabby now, who does, again, work towards that Mjolnir. I believe he has the gold, but not the gold with buyback. So he's saving up for that. And once that's up, of course, his damage does shoot up. Still a lot of room to grow, as he still has slots available.
Eris finally going for that Daedalus and the Tiny, and that's the one thing he was missing with the tree volleys. Just didn't have any sort of crit to try and crit off the tree volley, but with that Daedalus, things will be much, much easier for him. Of course, Mjolnir does get completed up by Gabby. He'll need more gold for the buyback. Just about 700 gold, in fact, but he'll have plenty of time to farm that up. Cignal Ultra aren't really anywhere near to try and force a fight.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
TNC They do kind of get started on that top shrine now as well. Basically just Gabby's side gunner getting that work done.
Dire's top shrine has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Jamesy's just hit 30k net worth on the sniper. As the Daedalus up, is going for the Moonshard. Closely followed by his own Ember Nando, who has gone pure utility build on this Ember. Has an Octarine core now. They are going to chase. They want to find a pick off. Who have they actually catch there? It is going to be March on the Shadow Shaman. So an easy pickup, but Nando, he's going to find Armel, and that's the one they want. Avalanche is there. Toss from Eris. Tree volleys. He astrals. He needs some help. But Van is already waiting.
Oh.
And Armel gets dropped.
My purpose fulfilled.
Those are massive kills going the way of Cignal. Just finding that OD, taking him out, forcing the buyback in case they go to the high ground, because they definitely need Armel in these fights. That's going to be big. Are they going to force it out now? I mean, there's no reason not to. They've got the farm. They've got the map control. Just go for it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See Jamesy, he'll get started with the sniper. Buyback from March. Eris, bit of balance will hold him in place. He'll be okay. And the sniper just slowly sieging away at this tower. Well, Ember just jumps straight in on the IO Tims. In trouble, though Nando is kind of surrounded. Gabby, he's not hitting softly anymore. Nando, you've got to be careful. They break the Lincolns. Remnant forward. He'll be alright for now, but Nando is dropping low. James, he's still trying to hit up the melee barracks. Relocate. Just for the bounties. TNC being very efficient, although Eris will find him, and well, there's a remnant forward. Nando suddenly shows up. They wanted to dunk, they will not. The assassinate will take it. Cignal say we don't need a relocate to get down to that bounty route spot.
Yeah, Nando's just been on point with his remnant usage. Just finding every single thing. There's no buyback in Tim's. He doesn't... Well, he does have the gold. It's actually super cheap for him. But he doesn't have the time. It's about 2 minutes off. So that's a massive opening here for Cignal if they so opt to abuse that.
Cignal may have an attempt at this bot, Rax. They have a double siege creep wave.
Radiant's bottom
Heroes, though, aren't really showing up, but the Rax is under siege now. Jamesy gonna move in. He's been a very objective-based kind of sniper, but he'll get started on KP. Jump in, avalanche toss, Eris, that's the start they needed. Gabby, he'll pop the Satanic straight off the bat. The tree volley though, Eris, so much damage, he'll still survive. Armel with the Astral, but now Van jumps in with the call. They found the OD, they found the gyrocopter. Can Armel go down? BKB up, Nando, he needs to get the hell out of there again. March, he'll be the target, he's gone. Armel, not in a good spot, he gets called, he goes down as well. KP now, still pretty darn tanky on the Underlord. The buyback will be there from the OD. Jamesy hitting again as a sniper. You can't afford to get hit too many times as Van has another call on the OD. KP apparently is just the target. Armel jumps in with the sanities and he finds Jamesy. This could be the turn they needed. Call down from Gabby. They buy back. A triple for Armel. He's basically carrying this team on his own right now. As the rest of Cignal just back the hell out of there.
has fallen.
They do not find a secondary Rax.
They did find the top racks, the mid racks at the very least, cleaning up from being shoved in. So that gives them a slight advantage there. And again, you are seeing Cignal slowly chipping away, but TNC, they still have the power to stay in this game. Off the back of Armel, they have expended buybacks. This is a very scary time for them. Nando goes in!
My purpose fulfilled.
Oh, God.
Nando, take it easy.
Jesus,
Relax.
if he found those kills, that would have been over. Oh,
The Roshan's being taken now. That's the second Roshan of the game. Does have the Aegis and Cheese. Cignal Ultra probably won't be there in time if they wanted to contest. And I don't think they even know it's happening. So Nando, Remnant, forward, he goes in, no, Gabby, he will pick it up. Nando tries for it. Mel will not be able to get a Hex off. A nice attempt. And the ball's on Nando to try that. Doing some risky plays, John.
I mean, he's been on point, right? When you're on fire like this, you really don't stop. Does have 7k in the bank as well. Not sure what exactly you spend on at this point as the Ember Spirit.
He still hasn't died, by the way. 16 and 0.
16 to 0. It's pretty wild. But he's always been that star player of Cignal, right? We've seen it in every series they've played. He's the guy that's on point, that's taking charge.
Yep, but John, he's playing against TNC.
It's even much more amazing that he's holding up really well. Cignal overall, with a surprise performance over TNC, when anyone else would have written them off. It's just, just like Execration would have been written off some time ago. But they are giving it to TNC.
Eris gonna spot out double damage down at the bot rune, and this will really help the cause for Cignal. Jamesy or Nando? Looks like it'll be Jamesy. How do you close the gap between here and the bot tower? Well, you'll just smoke up. It's almost like you would have loved to see a Desolator on that sniper just to really be able to siege those towers a bit easier. As Jamesy isn't really hitting the towers that hard. But with this double damage, it would help the cause quite a bit. Scythe the Vice now will come up on Nando. So even more control from him. This is a very late Scythe the Vice, but it is going to surprise the hell out of TNC. But look at TNC, they're just pushing in the top lane. Do they even come back to defend? They both will TP. It looks like March will go by himself with the Serpent Wards and perhaps trying to push in a Rax. Jamesy gets started on Gabby. He doesn't have that double damage anymore. Avalanche. Eris. Not going to jump yet. Meanwhile, March is still on his solo mission on the Shadow Shaman. Being very cautious. Nando will come in, clean up, already looking for March, and in fact he does find him. Chains won't connect. March hexes up, goes for the TP play. Will he make it out in time? The Chains, no, the Scythe of Vice. They catch him. Oh, March, no buyback available, but this could be an opening for TNC down at the bot lane. Cignal, however, do not give them one. Now Nando can just push this top lane out and join his brethren back down to the bot lane very, very soon.
It's been a rough time for March as well. He's been trying hard. He's been trying to find those openings, but Cignal has been on point very hard. Oh,
Gabby, Avalanche toss. They don't force out the BKB yet from Gabby. He holds on. They are going to be aware about that Scythe the Vice now on the Ember, though. They'll get the range racks. Nando, he's thinking about it. Gets the chains off on Gabby. Spirit Vessel there too. Gabby is getting low. Eris, Avalanche tosses a lot of damage. Still no BKB being popped. Gabby's turning around. Sanity's Armel. He'll jump in and start the team fight. Bando, he gets the call. It's the one he needs. Jamesy is there with the damage as well. He needs to get the hell out of there. The sniper, Grimm's trying to get out as well. They cancel the Dark Rift. Van is falling very, very low. They relocate forward with Armel. They'll get the axe, or rather the Shadow Demon. Jamesy has the man fight up. He goes down as well. And TNC, they're pushing it back. They're not allowing Cignal Ultra. They're denying them this bot Rax. Just waiting for their opportunity. And I'm starting to wonder, John, how long till we see some Divine Rapiers coming out?
just walking past. Divines, ooh, that's a rough one to say because it doesn't feel like the damage is lacking. I'll be frank. In fact, for TNC, it doesn't feel like it's lacking, but it's starting to feel like Cignal might consider it. They do catch Nando.
Nando's copying a lot of damage. KP
Missiles up.
will be able to get out of there. He got the double damage rune on the Ember.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
They'll get the bot shrine for the side of TNC now.
Dire's
We're almost at that 1 hour mark, and TNC are going to try and force these buybacks. Aegis does expire. Gabby, though, will get started on that bot Rax. Serpent wants to drop as well. They're going to hold on to these buybacks for now. They'll be okay with losing one lane of Rax on the side of Cignal.
Dire's middle tower is under
So that mid tier 2 is dropping fairly fast. They may lose another Rax if they're not too careful about this. Nando jumps in by himself, remnants out. He's just trying to drag out the time. Meanwhile, the bot lane, John, it's being pushed in by the creep wave. So TNC, they may be forced to back off. And yeah, Gabby, he'll just go back. Clear out this creep wave. That's a hell of a lot of money. Gabby, he's almost got 10k in the bank.
He's going for the divine. He's
Good.
queued it up.
It's about time.
What's he going to replace though? He's going for the abyssal first.
Or bot lane. Nando, he's caught out March. Still, Astral will save him for now. Nando, the BKB, gonna wear off soon. He gets out of there. Now thinking about jumping back in as the rest of his team are here to join with the smoke. He's just looking for the target. Mel's the one they really want. And Van may just find him as his smoke breaks. He blinks in and gets the call, but his teammates aren't there yet. Tree volley's coming in. Mel still sustaining a lot of this damage. He'll just turn around onto this axe. Blade Mail, Jamesy pops the BKB as well. Avalanche on KP, just trying to hold them back with his sniper. He's way too far forward. Gabby takes him out. He does have buyback, but they've lost their main source of damage. Meanwhile, in the back, Grims finds March. The battle of the supports. Mel will interrupt it though. Remnant forward, they still want the OD. Nando gets inside the vice. The tree volleys. Mel so low. Still Astral's up. He'll survive. March, he gets the Hex up on the Ember. Can they save Mel? They definitely can. He survives the call as well. Van, he's got to hold on. The Avalanche, they finally find the OD. But it doesn't look good enough as the rest of Cignal are falling quite low. And Eris will go down as well. It's a 3-for-1 trade. Buybacks are still available on both sides. Van, homing missile, is going to get him. The relocate as well. You thought it was over, Van. It is not. Regen rune does nothing. Gabby going to continue the chase. Van hoping this blade mail does something. It will not, however, and he will also go down.
What the 4-for-1 trade, 21 to 45, 60 minutes in. Down to a 5k lead for Cignal after a domineering start. And suddenly it's just dead even. In fact, it's an advantage for TNC according to Dota Plus. What the hell is going on here, Mike?
This is classic SEA Dota, as you always tell me, John.
It definitely is.
When you don't know what's happening in Dota, it must be SEA. They will
Buybacks are flying out.
Well, they have to. They don't want to lose a secondary Rax. Grims gonna go forward, gets the disruption. Van gets the call. Avalanche toss is nice with the Dark Rift. It's one of the strengths about the Underlord. You force the buybacks, you Dark Rift, and get the hell out of there. And suddenly, Cignal Ultra now are losing a lot of their buyback statuses. In fact, a lot of their cores just don't have it. In fact, all of them don't have it.
Ooh, this is a really big opening for TNC, just exploiting that one fight. And, some confused item building from Gabby. It looks like he will synthesize his Ags. Okay. Gets Travels up. Finishes the Abyssal. Or at least he queues up the Travels. Doesn't buy it. Not enough for Travels and buyback. Fair enough. So he does ditch the Divine Rapier, Mike. I'm sure you must be disappointed.
Well, someone's got to get one. You don't just go over an hour in a pro game and not get some Divine Rapiers.
Oh, James, he's still working towards a Satanic, so it's not going to be him.
Very disappointing, Jamesy.
Yeah, it's a shame he's playing smart, Mike.
Radiant are scanning.
Cignal have to be so careful. Any of their cores die and TNC may just win out the game. Nando? Be scary, Nando. You got to be careful about those. Smoke will come out from TNC.
Oh, Mike Gabby has the Divine queued up again.
Good. I mean, it kind of makes sense. He does have an ability that makes him attack multiple units, John. Does tend to be pretty good with the Divine.
Oh. They might catch Jamesy.
Jamesy, oh, the Hex is there from Armel, though Disruption will save. The rest of the team, Van needs to get in there. Jamesy pops the BKB, but it's too much damage. Nando, he can't stop them. Jamesy's gone. He has buyback. He'll pop it straight away. Armel still survives through the Astral. The toss back, Nando, he's dead. No buyback available. They've lost the axe as well. Oh, this is super bad for Cignal Ultra. As Eris, he gets hexed up. He's dead. No buyback available. And the Dark Rift straight down to the bot lane, TNC. It looks like they may have pulled off the victory, John. And Jamesy, I mean, well, there's the Divine coming out on Gabby. No time wasted. The buyback will come out from the Shadow Demon, but I don't know what he's going to do. It's all up to Jamesy on the sniper, and he's sitting in the fountain right now. This is GG, yeah, they'll call it. 64 minutes in,
wow.
TNC will take the first game.
What? 26 to 45 at 64 minutes. Suddenly a 14k lead for TNC at the end. After Cignal kept TNC at single digits for at least 40 minutes, Mike. And we end up like this. Just a couple of bad fights from Cignal. And TNC exploits it. They show us the difference in tiering and why they are the favorites. It looked like they were just gone after 20 minutes. Gabby could not farm up. They hold out. They find some smart fights. They build off Armel. They trust in KP's Underlord to somehow make use of that farm. And it pays off in the end.
It certainly does. And to think the Australian... Well, I'm not even going to say that. Armel basically won TNC this game. I mean, Armel, how long did Armel carry this team for before Gabby was online?
So long.
I don't
like,
even...
He just found all the kills. And he worked towards that site. Once that was up, that gave TNC the chance to take some fights. Not a lot, but enough.
With that, John, believe it or not, it is a best-of-2 series. So we do have a second game between these two teams, and we should jump into the lobby very...
It's Radiant's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. It's Dire's turn to ban. What's Radiant's ban plan anyway? Just who will Dire ban? It's Radiant's turn to ban. Just who will Dire ban? It's Radiant's turn to pick. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. Dire should pick now.
Shadow Demon.
It's Dire's turn to pick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're straight back into it for
Jesus
game
Christ.
number 2 between Cignal Ultra and TNC Predator. Something wrong, John?
No, it's the Naga Siren. That's
You interrupted my intro because you saw a Naga Siren pick up. You really don't want another 1 hour game, do you? It's
no, I wanted, Mike. Give me 2 hours. Give me 3. What do you mean it's 11 o'clock? Time is not a concept I understand. It's 10:30.
1:30.
It's
1:30 a.m. in the morning. for
Well,
you.
I live in civilized time, Mike. I don't live in the Outlands. I don't live upside down. People can't live upside down, Mike. And so it's
What?
10:30 here.
John, the draft started. I'm not going to ask you how you're doing because you'll probably just complain about the time. So, Cignal Ultra vs TNC Predator. Shadow Demon Legion Commander will be the opening from Cignal Ultra. TNC Predator regretfully went for a Naga Siren and Dark Willow. Though, it is a pretty strong opening, and I kind of wonder what TNC is up to with this, as generally when they go for these kind of stranger drafts, it means they're up to something a little bit interesting, a bit more strategic, a bit more... Maybe they're just testing the waters a bit.
Yeah, experimental, I think is the word.
Thank you.
And this is not quite experimental yet, I'll be frank. It's just kind of out of meta, or not favored, but Naga Siren still does a lot of work. We have, at the very least, when we watched the ESL India Premiership, we have seen teams go back to that Naga. I believe there were a couple of teams that go back to it, run it a lot, and it can be efficient. You hit those timings quite right. The key thing is going towards that diffusal Yasha into Manta style, and then you can really start melting people down. Cignal Ultra, they're going for something that keeps up with that aggression. Shadow Demon, Legion Commander, goes online early, goes online fast, gets control in those team fights, and really just starts to snowball from that laning phase. With that support, Dark Willow as well coming out from TNC, which we don't see too often. At the very least, we did not see too often in these close qualifiers here. It's going to be interesting to see that back in effect. Just a lot of nice early control coming out.
It's Radiant's turn.
And again, you cannot underestimate the damage that these heroes pump out. There you go. The Chikiro comes out really good in conjunction with the Naga, of course. Gives you some great push as well. Great AoE control after the song. So, it's just a very, very straightforward pickup here for TNC. And it should be something they know how to execute, of course. This is a classic sort of draft from several metas. Very
10
solid,
seconds.
regardless. And it should work out well for them if they can pull it
5
off.
seconds.
Should. Signal Ultra, though, what are they up to with this? It's another bit of a strange opening with the Shadow Demon Legion Commander. Wonder where they'll head with this. Of course, in their mental state right now, I mean, after over 1 hour game up against the best team in the close qualifiers, they were so darn close. This must be a bit of a frustrating situation for them. They would have loved to at least get the first game. Where do they head with this draft? Fair enough, you pick up the Mirana, you've already got the Shadow Demon. TNC, they will not think about it.
Oh.
Uh-oh, it's the Tim's Earthshaker coming. Is it a Tim's Earthshaker? I don't know. It should be.
Should be. But could still be the KP one. I mean, what's the KP hero if not?
10 seconds.
Like, Korojakiro? Or support
5
Naga.
seconds.
But that is extremely old meta, I think. I don't think it works out too well nowadays. Of course, you can always try. This could be TNC just trying. They tend to do that in Game 2. They try.
Well, Signal Ultra. 4th pick. 50 seconds reserve time left.
I'm actually really interested to see what exactly their Nando here will be. TNC has banned out that Void consistently, so it's not there. They go with the Gyro themselves this time. This is gonna be interesting. They want to take that hero back. Show TNC how to run it, I guess. Up against Naga, of course, it comes online quite fast and should snowball a bit faster.
What's Radiant's ban plan anyway?
Well, final banouts now. The Kunkka is the ban from TNC Predator. Signal Ultra. 1 left for them. Does feel like Signal Ultra do need a bit more stable team fight with their lineup, but they still do have 1 more mid pickup to make.
10 seconds.
Kind of wonder what they'll go into for that mid pickup.
5 seconds.
TNC, I mean, they've got this weird lineup and you have no clue what they're up to. Can we just do something crazy? Like, can we just get a Meepo or something as a last pick for Signal Ultra? Does anyone play Meepo on the side of Signal? Jamesy? You a Meepo player? Probably not.
It's
Probably not the game up against an Earthshaker, to be
It's
fair.
Dyer's turn to pick.
Ember Spirit.
They'll go back into the Ember Spirit. Interesting, to say the least. See if they give it back to Nando, or if they'll give it to Jamesy again. Both of which have played it before. Not John, have I lost you again?
10 seconds.
Well, that explains why John's not talking. I've lost John.
5 seconds.
Looks like it's so late for him that his internet's just giving up. TNC Predator. Gonna finally start using reserve time. This is the first time they let it tick down. Solid draft coming out from Signal Ultra. TNC, they finish off with the Zeus. Okay. Mel will pick up the Zeus. Gabby will be on the Earthshaker. So position 1 Earthshaker. Tims will take the Dark Willow. KP on the offlane Naga Siren and March on the Jakiro. Whew. Here we go again. So pause 1 Earthshaker. I mean, it's been a long time since I've got to see this. Of course, it does pop up here and there, and if any team's going to do it, it is TNC. How well does it work, though, is the question. I mean, they have so much disable on the side of TNC against the side of Signal Ultra. Those enchant totems tend to hit pretty darn hard. Still, you are jumping straight into a gyrocopter who does like it when you're close up because of that rocket barrage. Jamesy won't exactly mind either on the Ember Spirit. Nor will Van on the Legion Commander. So we should be getting into this game pretty darn soon. Of course, this is the second game of this best of two. I believe there will be tiebreak. I'm not 100% what the format of those tie is going to be.
I believe they're best of ones, Mike, based on the rulebook.
Does anyone follow the rulebook, John?
I do, Mike, and the teams, well, they listen to me. I wish they didn't. I wish they didn't, Mike. I should probably stop talking about rules in the lounge, in the lobby.
Oh, you're referring to that time
Yes.
a couple days ago.
Oh, yes. No, I should never raise it up. They should just go on. Unaware. Ignorance is bliss. And you know, I wish I was ignorant about, Mike. I wish I was ignorant about my own internet. It sure seems ignorant of me, Mike. It's not considerate of my feelings. How I feel about paying for this damn internet. In fact, Cignal. The company that owns Cignal actually owns my damn internet.
Anything about sponsors, please, Jonathan?
They're not sponsors, fortunately enough. But that company really needs to get its shit together. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Oh my. And John X Fire swears, you know he's upset. There's an arrow. We'll go past KP, a nice little juke there from him.
30 seconds to battle.
So the position 1 Earthshaker, John, in case you missed out.
Oh my god. It's TNC. It's game 2, of course. What do you expect? They shake things up. I mean, look.
Because the first game was
it's
just
fun.
too easy for them, right?
Yeah, exactly. Kulit mo. They're just having fun here. Just saying hi. It's a long night.
Arrow?
Arrow hits.
Does connect onto Gabby. There's not really going to be a follow-up to it. It's just a bit of right-click damage from Van. But Van's copying more damage. Gabby throws out the Fisher. Now they will see Eris jump in on the Mirana. And that'll be enough of that, though Arrow will be available in 1 second. If they can land it, perhaps they find a kill, though March, he'll be the one to cop it for Gabby. And March may actually go down if Eris doesn't miss too much uphill. Yeah, it looks like it will be the first blood going to the way of Cignal Ultra once again. Very early on. Does TNC care? Probably not.
Probably not. It's not the biggest kill in the world. They do understand that this is a very strong opening from Cignal. If they land those arrows, they're basically just killed. So props to Cignal for finding that first blood. Gabby Earthshaker. I wonder how he's going to gear up. Is he still going to go for that standard utility, Ags, Blink? Or is he going to go for the crit? And rush the Daedalus at some point? I think that's how you do it.
Sorry to the viewers. I realize I forgot the draft overlay on. I apologize. It's getting late.
Oh no, chat's going to explode, Mike.
They really are. I apologize in advance. Or rather, delayed apology, but my bad. It's a bit late. Draft overlay's gone as Tims will go down to the bot lane. Nando will pick up the kill on the gyrocopter.
Okay, you have to remember
2-0.
the overall tune of these close qualifiers. In order to force a tie on that lower part, the third and fourth place, I believe, because the fourth place has to play another game to go into the, if I recall right, to go into the summit qualifiers, right? So the minor qualifiers. But the fourth place between the both groups have to play a game. Figure out who goes in. So if you're third place, you go in immediately. And then the one team that doesn't make it to the majors will go into the qualifiers for the minor. So if TNC wins this match, Geek Fam will be tied up. If they lose this match, there is no tiebreaker.
Grims will find another kill. This time onto Tims on the Dark Willow now down at the bot lane. So Cignal a very quick 3-0. 2 minutes into this game. Van doing a decent job up against Gabby on that Earthshaker. Doesn't really have a way to shut him down though as the Legion Commander, as March is going to stick around the area. Gabby going to just continue abusing that Enchant Totem to get these CS off. Meanwhile, Jamesy falling quite low to Armel on the Zeus. Armel does run out of mana preemptively, but he does get a bottle up, and now Jamesy may regret sticking around. Lightning Bolt, he's not going to throw it out. The salve will be there. Grims will actually go for the disruption as Jamesy does run in. Arrow connects on Armel, and this may be the 4th kill going up for Cignal Ultra, and it is. James picks it up on the Ember. And they'll turn that mid lane around quite a bit for the side of Cignal.
It's almost a similar story to game 1, right? Early laning kills going the way of Cignal, just finding that pressure early on, finding those rotations paying off. And this could just be the exact same thing we're seeing in the laning phase at very least.
Bot lane, KP now gonna be in trouble. Nando will move in. Rocket Barrage being spammed up. KP though still mad fighting. He'll find Grims, but KP will lose his life to Nando. And now Tims may try to find a trade. He does have the Shadow Realm available. He'll pop it. Nando hides in the trees, and it's not going to be enough damage from Tims. He couldn't drag out the duration due to the fog from Nando. He had to try. Nando will just be able to tango himself up.
A bit of a missed opportunity to punish that gyrocopter. Still though, 5-1. Only less than 1k of a lead for Cignal. Not going to be too unhappy about that. Arrow does miss Gabby.
March gonna harass Eris back.
The rune of invisibility.
Well, Mel going after Jamesy down at the bot lane. Jamesy gonna actually pop an Invis rune and we'll be alright. They're gonna try and switch this around though. Mel will find him. Jamesy underestimating Armel with the lightning bolt, not realizing he can just see through the Invis with it. They will find a double on the Zeus. Tim's just laughing like an absolute maniac now.
Oh, the arrow!
Eris finds the kill on Armel apparently.
Ooh. This constant aggression coming out from Cignal is a treat to watch. Just very active in that map, finding every single kill. It does come at the cost of some form of farm though, as you see that early lead being minimal.
Things would catch up with me.
Tims will go down again to Nando on the gyrocopter. So it's 7-3. Less than 1k net worth lead to the side of Cignal. Tim's gonna rotate in mid, the Dark Willow. Meanwhile, KP gonna be in trouble bot lane. Disruption will come out from Grims. Homing missile perfectly timed with the disruption, and KP will lose his life once again on the Naga Siren. And Tims, meanwhile, helps out with finding a kill onto Eris mid lane. Jamesy, he'll be okay. It was just the Mirana that ended up going down. At the very least, Eris will be able to just fill up the bottle of Jamesy once again. Now, looks like they want to go after Armel, though Armel does run to the tree line, so they might find March, but the Jewel Breath comes out, Armel jukes him out and now wants to turn it. Chains do connect, but he's going to keep chasing Jamesy, and there's the Thunder God's Wrath. They'll claim another kill on this Zeus.
Alright, it's a better story for TNC in this laning phase. They are finding a lot more counter kills, building up for themselves, maintaining that deficit at less than 1k. You are seeing a lot more signs of life here. I mean, this lineup is definitely working out. They are matching the aggression of Cignal to a certain extent and still finding farm around the map, so they should be very happy so far.
Still Nando, farming up very well once again this game. Gonna go straight into that Maelstrom as the gyrocopter. So, top of the last hit board is currently Gabby on the Earthshaker. He's going into his phase boot straight off the bat. Already has a soul ring up, so he can just continue with that enchant totem spam. Van hasn't really been able to shut him down, though he does have his level 6 now, so you could go for a duel attempt, but he will need some help. Grimm's mid lane, gonna get caught out of the Shadow Demon. March will slow him down, and Armel should be able to pick up another easy kill. In fact, it will be KP who comes in and cleans up. Jamesy, though, gonna run that form with Nando. Homing missile following Armel. Can they find him? There are rotations coming in. Tims with the Cursed Crown and the Brambles. Armel still running away, still surviving. What? They will actually get him out of there. Now Jamesy, he has no remnants left. He's going down.
That was just a very messy fight coming out here. We see Nando again with those early rotations coming out. Doesn't pay off. Pays with his life. And now the slight lead is going to TNC. 9-8 at 8 minutes in. Very active match. Both sides really wanting to... Poor Gabby.
Gabby dies once. Gets all the tips. Tim's has died like 20 times already. Nobody says a word.
Poor Gabby. That's a lot of pressure on a guy. He did use his Echo Slam as well, so maybe that's why.
Oh, Gabby probably said, look, just give me a real carry and I'll finish this game in 20 minutes. And they're like, no, you're playing Earthshaker. You're going to play whether you like it or not. KP. Disruption will be there on the Naga Siren. Homing missile will not connect this time around. KP will mirror image. Jamesy finds Armel in the mid lane while this is happening, but KP is still going to be chased down. Grim's just going to spam the Shadow Poison. KP, Rocket Barrage, he's going to try and duke it out. In fact, come on now. You can't just do that to them. KP surely goes down. He dodges the high ground. Eris going to jump forward. We'll start with his own right clicks and he will find the kill. Jamesy comes in.
No, he survived through that last right click from Eris. That was... Oh. Whew. KP wasting a lot of time there, even forcing Jamesy down.
Oh, well.
Pretty good use of that time.
That's the problem with us Australians, John. We don't have a very good sense of time. So we just tend to just do whatever. See what happens.
Because the blood doesn't go to your heads, Mike. Upside down is not the way to go.
That is very true, John. Thank you. Tim's farming up against Nando on the gyrocopter. And we see this again where Nando does not get any respect on the position 1 carry. They just leave him be, give him as much farm as he wants. Still, he's going to have a pretty quick Maelstrom up. Tim's could go for a kill attempt by himself. He is level 6. Top lane though, they do find the Legion Commander and Van will end up going down, but he's healing up. Thunder God's Wrath comes out. Meanwhile, Nando also drops and Tim's does manage to find the solo kill.
You can't underestimate that Dark Willow. Of course, you have that global assist from Armel helping out a massive ton. And so kills can just happen in a snap like that.
Well, 11-10 now. An action-packed game between these two. 2 kills per minute so far. Jamesy just trying to secure as much farm as he can, and we'll see the first Moonlight Shadow of the game coming out. Eris, we'll see what he can get done with this. Looks like he's just going to try and scout out the enemy jungle, see whereabouts Armel is, and...
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Is Dire going to let that
Speedy
middle
rune
tower
of
fall?
haste.
Tim's.
He has his ult back up.
He does. Nando may have to find out the hard way. KP doesn't really have Ensnare to hold him down, but it's not like Tim's really needs it. He has his own brambles.
I am mildly concerned for Van this time around. Like, you take a look at him, he doesn't have any dual wins. Ooh, Grimm's just overextends just a bit.
Curse Crown's there. Tim's, does he want to bother? Not quite. Well, mid lane, looks like they do find March on the Jakiro, but Nando may drop for the trouble. Armel, no, Gabby, he comes in with the Echo, cleans up, and now they're still going after this Zeus, but the arrow barely whiffing. Jamesy, remnants forward, still Armel wants to continue this chase on the Ember. He'll go after Grims instead.
Oh, Armel. Wait.
Eris gonna go after Armel, but that is a Zeus. Van gonna chase for the jewel. He has double damage available, but can't reach. Armel still playing around with him. Now Tim's, he'll be the one that gets jeweled up underneath the T1 tower of all things. They don't find the jewel victory, but they get the kill, and now they chase Gabby down. Gabby doesn't really have much mana, although he enchant totems and he hits very hard. Van gonna heal up, move forward. Arrow connects. Buyback from Tim's very early on. He comes back in, but Gabby's already gone. They are gonna go after Van on the LC. They'll find him as well. Perhaps Jamesy. Perhaps he's too much of a hard target. They'll leave him be.
So I just want to point out earlier on that Thunder God's Wrath usage was right after the Echo Slam from Gabby, and he could have right-clicked to get that kill. But it went to Armel. It's just...
Don't make me laugh when I'm drinking water, John.
Like, he Echo Slammed, he got them low, and Armel comes in with Thunder God's Wrath. He was running right click away, he got stunned up from the aftershock. It's just not giving Gabby anything.
Well, Gabby died once, John. He doesn't deserve anything. In fact, he's died twice on this position 1 Earthshaker. Ooh, rough game, although he is rushing Aghanim Scepter, and looks like he's kind of almost there. He just needs about 2k for that. Meanwhile, Armel gonna get caught out. Jamesy finds him with the chains. They will claim the kill. Nice pickup from the side of Cignal. Grimm's also got the purge off onto March. Drops him up. They jump forward. They'll take down this Jakiro as well. Macropire, Ice Path. It is all very nice. March actually doing a lot of damage. Not going to be enough. Tims, meanwhile, pops the Bedlam very, very early on. We'll finish the job off with the Shadow Realm. And top lane, Van. He's got an Invis Rune. Van shows himself. This could be dangerous for him. So Gabby has left. KP doesn't want to get jeweled right now. And Van won't even bother with it. Meanwhile,
Nando?
Gabby going after Nando. Armel's there with the Thunder God's Wrath, trying to KS again, but Gabby will KS back.
Use the Echo Slam to get the kill away. It's a fight for the kills here, and Gabby finally finds one for himself. 1, 2, 3 now on this Pops 1 Shaker.
This will do nicely.
This is like a documentary of how pub games go, John. This is just as real as it gets. Everyone just trying to take your kills away from you. Mel taking Eris. Jamesy finding Tims. And now Jamesy wants to get some revenge. They do overwhelming odds and get the jewel off Mel. Will end up going down. A nice little victory there for Van on that Legion Commander. So 18 to 15. We'll have a look at Dota Plus win probability just because, and TNC actually have 77% chance of winning apparently. Explain that to me, John.
They've got Nagasarn, they've got good farm on their Shaker, they have a Zeus who already has Travels. The advantage for Cignal with their early game draft is not as big as you'd want, and they are dragging us out against a Nagasarn that is still farming up. KP is finding what he wants. Gabby has not been shut down. His timing is not amazing, but he's still going to have his Aghanims up at some point. Then he's going to dish out the damage.
Double damage empowers me.
Nando. We'll make it out.
Tims, once again, he's just farming up with the Bedlam. In fact, I want to point out, Tims has Hex queued up.
Yes.
Very, right before, even before the talent. He's already sure the first big item he's going to have. Just going to be straight up a Hex.
I don't know what you're so surprised about, John. This is very standard in the 3k backup. Just go straight for the Hex on the Dark Willow. It makes perfect sense. KP, Jewel up. It's going to be a nice one, but Terrorize is there, and that'll actually stop the attacks from the Legion Commander. Curse Crown comes out as well. KP getting disrupted up by Grimms, but that actually helps him out. Now the Fish of KP, Mirror Image, songs up. Gabby meanwhile has the Aghanim Scepter. March going to come back in with the Ice Path. They jump back in. They take down the Shadow Demon. And Eris. Well, he goes for more Gabby. Eris, you did not want to stand there like that, though they may find the Earthquake, but no, the Echo, the Ice Path, they find him mid-air. Can they punish more TNC? Cignal are gonna back off.
That was a lot of patience coming out from Gabby. He did not expend that slam until he knew he could get more. So they're done goofing around with these last hits on kills. It's time to get serious. With that Aghanims up, of course, it is time to get serious. He is working towards the Yules first to fix some of his mana issues and get himself out of roots and some such stuff. We'll be getting that Blink Dagger afterwards. I'm still wondering whether or not he's going to be going for big crit items. Is he going to go for that big enchant totem hits? Or is he just going to go down the usual path for usual core shakers in that pause tree, which is still perfectly fine. You know, it's still workable. We have seen teams actually just do that nowadays, so, you know, putting a pause 1, which is basically a tree, your pause tree basically becomes your 1, and it still works out.
Dire will stand. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower.
Smoke will come out from TNC.
Dire just
KP, he does pick up the Manta. Grims, Fisher, Enchant is there. They do Moonlight Shadow, but it may be all too late. But nice arrow on Gabby. He's been trapped up a bit. Still, where's the follow-up damage? They're gonna try, but Gabby will just jump out. Mel seems to be around the area trying to give vision for his team. Moonlight will wear off. March, Ice Path, Nando, he gets trapped up in it. Armel, they'll purge it off thanks to Van with the press the attack. But Armel just attacks from a mile away with all that magic. Brambles will end up finding the LC, and that'll be a nice, easy pickup. Terrorize is there as well. They actually get the gyrocopter in the tree line. Gabby is looking for him. Won't be able to find him. James, just TP out. Meanwhile,
While all of that was happening, KP actually managed to take a tower, and Eris is still on the run.
Yeah, Fisher connects from Gabby. He's found him. And Ice Path will connect as well. Gabby picks up another. 20 to 20 now, 20 minutes in, with a 2k net worth lead. It's a lot of twos. Dota Plus still saying 75% TNC's way, even though Cignal Ultra have got some pretty nice farm on Nando, as well as there are the Ember Spirit Jamesy.
It's not big enough of a lead to really be called a snowball start for Cignal. They're still drawing even, and when they're drawing even, you have to remember the power of TNC towards that late game. You have the Core Nagasaran, which you could argue the Ember Spirit and Gyrocopter clear out quite fast, but it still has ways of getting back in that game. You have the Zeus, who has that global presence when the Aghanims is up. Even without it, of course, the Thunder God's Wrath is already pretty strong. The Core Shaker, which Gabby has bounced back with once he got his Ags, and is going to grow bigger and bigger with as he has that farm prioritization. So there's a lot of scalability here. Cignal, I mean, you have the Gyrocopter, which scales great. The Ember Spirit, which also scales great. The Legion Commander is a bit more of a rough sell, mainly because you will be used for solo target lockdown as the game goes on that duel.
Oh, James,
you can get damage.
Fisher, Enchant Totem, Macro Ice Path.
Oh,
Explosion.
that's
Just
massive.
happened. Yeah.
That's massive for Armel. That's 600 gold straight up to him. That rushes his Ags up. He's halfway there now. And once that Ags is up, every single lane is under severe threat.
Moonlight Shadow from Cignal, so it looks like they're going to try and find something out of this. They're in a 4v5 situation though. It's a bit risky as TNC are still grouped up. Gabby has his Echo available. They scouted out, but Jewel straight on the Earthshaker. Nando pops the BKB. Arrow and Gabby as well. They're just holding him down the whole time. Eris, he'll jump in. Gabby somehow alive, but it will eventually end up going down. Meanwhile, Nando does end up finding March. So I thought the Moonlight Shadow wasn't the greatest idea, but it does end up paying off quite well for the side of Cignal Ultra.
They find some massive kills without just slowing down that Shaker, finding the support on March once more, building up on their cores. Unfortunate that they did not find the dual win. That was some good game sense coming out from TNC to deny that, off at the very least. But you are still finding some space around the map as Cignal. 22 to 21, still a 1k net worth lead, not the tightest in the world. Not the widest gap in the world. It's still something Cignal can play around with. I would like to see TNC a bit more aware of these Moonlight Shadows. They have warded their own jungle up quite well, but they don't really have too many offensive wards.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
KP, continuing to be a professional, is going straight into the Diffusal Blade. Doing a fantastic job on the Naga Siren. Of course, Nando has eclipsed his farm on the Gyrocopter, and he's going into the Aghanim Scepter next. See how well this Naga does against that Gyrocopter once you get into those later stages of the game. So you'd assume the Flat Cannon would burst those illusions down, but those illusions can get rather tanky once you get to that point where you've got a hard up. Eris, top lane, may get caught out. Gets the Fisher, Enchant Totem to follow up. Gabby will smack him in the face. And now the Ice Path macro. Another Enchant Totem. Mel will take the kill for himself. We do see the side of Cignal trying to catch up and help out. They will not make it in time though. So they do pop the drums. They're going to go after KP. KP has Song available. He's fairly tanky, but they pop all remnants. And that's a massive pickup for Cignal. As Gabby will jump back in. They disrupt him up straight away. Curse Crown on Van. Van, where are you headed? Double Chains comes out from Jamesy. He runs back in. It's a big call down. Enchant Totem out for Gabby. He just wants to get the hell out of this. Terrorize as well. Send that Ember back. Van is still looking for one kill. March with the TP play. He's gonna make it.
Ooh, right at the edge. Finally, March gets to live. Been a while since this guy managed to get out in a scratch like that, but does survive, and not the biggest losses for TNC. KP is a big one, but they don't bleed out anymore. They might find a couple of kills here. Armel really far forward.
Yeah, Jamesy takes advantage of it though. Eris may die though. No, Jamesy will pick up the kill, but here comes Gabby. Fisher doesn't throw it out. He doesn't have dust either. Now Fisher, no, he's just swinging the totem away. It's KP gonna start moving in and has Song available if he wishes to set up with it. They will not. (24-22) as Tims continues to laugh. That damn laugh, John. It's
it's hypnotic. It's mesmerizing. It's what was it for you? Because Chat had an opinion. Oh, you're gonna make Chat really mad, Mike.
Why's that?
They love that voice.
Really?
The copy pastas have been rolling around.
Dire's top tower has some radiant shape.
You know, the one copy pasta which I can't say it on stream, unfortunately, you know.
Well, John, I haven't been watching Chat. I'm casting a Dota game right now. I'm not sure what you're doing. Gabby?
Ooh.
Mid-air arrow, remnant forward. Song is there though from KP. He stops the nonsense. Says, get the hell out of here, boys. That's exactly what they do though. Van wishes to punish them. Fisher is there to stop him from pursuing. Arrow, Gabby, Gabby. Oh, the neutral saves him. Even the neutral's helping TNC out. Meanwhile, Mel and Nando playing around with each other up the top lane. Bot lane apparently still going. Tims is playing around with Van. BKB will be forced out from Van. That was his 9-second charge going. It looks like it'll just be enough for him to walk out of there alive.
A bit of a shame that he had to use that defensively. Could they find Armel again? He's all alone.
He is. He's got his axe up though. Van rushing forward. Armel, of course, will back off.
Oh, they found Armel.
To find him, Armel in trouble. No help around the area either. And Jamesy pops the BKB. Doesn't want to play around with his food.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Cignal. 4K net worth lead for the Radiant side now. 27.5 minutes in.
Jax thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall. He's wrong.
Gabby on this Earthshaker. Hasn't transitioned to that position 1 we wanted to see quite yet as a duel comes out. They will find Tims as well.
Radiant's bottom tower here's a fortification from Radiant. Jex thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall.
TNC starting to fall somewhat behind here. It's Gabby now. Gonna get spotted out by Van.
Tower is under attack.
Be a nice pickup if they could find him. James is around the area as well. They do blink in. There's the vision, but Gabby, of course, will just jump his way out.
There are some farm issues now in TNC that they should seek to correct. Gabby's farm very far behind, still at 9.7k net worth. Compare that to the Gyro Copper at 14k, it really does look like they have prioritized KP for that farm on the Naga Siren instead.
Speaking of KP, he gets stunned up. Cooldown is there, though he should have Song available, but pops the mirror image. Still won't use the Song, he just holds on to it. Nando has BKB anyway, doesn't find the kill though. Now Van jumps in with the duel. Terrorize is not going to come in. Song is there, but Van continues right-clicking away in the BKB, but Gabby walks out of there. Remnant, they will find him. Sleight of Fist gets the job done, and now Armel, he'll be in trouble on the Zeus. Remnant forward again. They'll find a double on this Ember. Meanwhile, March, he also goes down, and TNC will end up losing 3 for the price of absolutely nothing.
It's looking pretty darn good now for Cignal. They are finding that momentum they needed, riding off the back of Nando, who is pretty much king of net worth right now. Really tearing into TNC, forcing them to take these weird fights, always finding Gabby in the wrong spots, and they have certainly been working this map quite well. 8k net worth lead, 29 to 22 at 29 minutes in, clearing out that tier 2 down bot, looking to take further control on the map, but they will play it safe. They pull back, just get some farm going. No pressure here on Cignal. Does look like they are comfy in their position.
No need to give TNT any openings in this game. This is the lead they wanted. KP trying to rush a heart now on that Naga Siren. And should have it up relatively soon as well, considering the farm speed of this Naga. Armel finds Grims. Where the hell was that? Looks like he just takes it with the Nimbus. They'd set it up for him anyway. Interestingly enough, Eris is actually going for an Aghanim Scepter himself on the Mirana. So you've got a semi-core Mirana going on here as well, as Van jumps in with his BKB, gonna find Tims and will win the duel. Now TNC though, they start moving their way down bot. Gabby gets used up, or rather uses up Van. Arrow is there though from the Mirana, but still they're bursting down this LC and he's just gone.
Shadows take us.
Homing missile will be coming in. Nando gonna find Gabby, and Gabby just overextending way too far. KP with the Song trying to save, but it wasn't there quite in time. And Eris, Arrow, gonna be a pretty nice direction. KP will not take it. Nice little juke out there from him. So 31 to 24, 9k net worth lead remains for Cignal. Nando is getting real close to being up there as in terms of farm. I mean, he's 17.5k net worth now. Has the Ags up. Gonna have the Satanic up soon. Surely TNC can't control a gyrocopter with this much farm anymore.
It's gonna be hard. Again, he just kind of eats through the illusions from KP. And you don't quite have enough in Gabby to comfortably say that he's on the same level. He's definitely not. There is a clear farm advantage going for Cignal now. They really need to find a way to get some more going on to Gabby, if not give a bigger lead towards KP, as they are putting all their eggs in one basket here, riding off the back of this Naga Siren. They do have the heart up in KP, working towards that Scotty now. Again, just getting all those stats in, all that value for each slot, and trying to work their way towards a cohesive front as they take these fights.
Well, they will smoke up on TNC now. So the surprise reveal of this Heart of Thrask as well on KP. Satanic, though, does just come up now on Nando. That's a big item to have on himself. Mid lane, do they go in? Yeah, Fisher is there straight on Grims. They'll just burst him down though. Van, he'll jump in with the jewel as well. Nando coming in. They burst down Gabby. And now, can they find more? They'll get the chains off both March as well as Tim's. March is gone. Tim's will be the secondary. And KP, he's been left behind on the Naga. Song, TP will be there, and he's just going to get the hell out. And... well, Jamesy, he tried. Still, they're going to be very happy with that team fight. Roshan is available to them, and that's exactly where they'll end up going.
It's going to be a very straightforward Roche. No contestation coming out here from TNC. They had to expend the song to get KP out. So that's going to be the Roshan just going the way of Cignal. Rather unfortunate for TNC. They try to initiate like that every single time. The patience from Van to hang back, follow up after that jump in from Gabby, and always pinning down that Shaker gives them so much to work with. We have 114 damage now in this LC, a 12k lead for Cignal, and according to Dota Plus, it's now a 53% chance for Cignal to win this game.
Well, there you have it. Dota Plus, it was right last time around. Will it be right this time? Nando going to be finishing up that Mjolnir very, very soon. What do you even go for after that? Gabby, this position 1 Earthshaker still is not really performing to the expectations that they probably had.
The prize is mine.
Oh,
Van?
that was a
illusion.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake. Really hard to pin down a real target. They did expend Song to get KP out though, so that option's not going to be there once more.
I mean, it's basically a minute cooldown anyway. KP will have it up pretty darn soon. As he's going into an Eye of Skadi up next on this Naga Siren. Nando. Start pushing out this bot lane with his team. Aghanim Scepter now up on Grims on the Shadow Demon. So you got 3 Purges, I believe.
Yep.
Pretty darn good.
Definitely is. It's a good amount. Doesn't manage to pin down Eris, but Gabby was trying.
March. His Gyrocopter Illusion's going to scout out a bit in towards that jungle. Now jump in. Remnant, they will not find Armel. Moonlight Shadow immediately popped afterwards. Looks like TNC may go for a counter smoke as March did just pick one up. But the rest of TNC are kind of just farming their jungle right now.
Look at Dire's bottom tower, Jax.
Eris. Arrow out. They won't find Gabby. They remnant the wrong way as well. Gabby is a very slippery hero to try and catch right now. Tim's Curse Crown is going to go out on Van. Brambles as well being thrown out. Jamesy will only find a Naga Siren Illusion. And I heard a BKB. Oh, those are the Naga Siren Illusions. Van cannot put up with them.
Scared of Radiant's top tower.
He's forced a BKB to run away from just illusions.
They can be ridiculous. They do hit pretty hard. You can't underestimate that. Kind of have to respect it, and that was a lot of damage onto Van. Fortunate enough he gets away, but not the way you want to be popping those BKBs. It is down to a 5-second charge.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Jax thinks Radiant's
March.
bottom tower is about to fall.
Pushing in the bot lane as the Chikiro. We'll get rid of it.
Tower has fallen.
Thing is, Cignal Ultra, they're just forcing in that mid lane. Top lane was already taken down by Nando on Cignal. Nando will go ahead and try to clean up that mid tier 2 tower as well now, though that bot lane is being pushed in heavily. March with the liquid fire can just start spamming that out on the tier 3, and Eris, he'll be the one to come down. Tim's looks like he found the Radiant Courier while all this was happening. They are going to try and punish him. The brambles are there. Tim's juking out, but there's the jewel coming out. But they can't get the damage out while those brambles are there. But eventually they will find him. Now Gabby going to jump straight into Nando. Call down will come through, but Gabby will be okay. Jamesy will continue the chase with his Aghanim Scepter. Gabby continues walking away, or rather jumping away.
Radiants are scanning for enemies.
Oh, don't mind me. Just a wee fairy going about her business.
Is Dire going to let that middle
Of course, the Aegis does end up expiring.
Just a very patient game from both sides. Tier 2 down mid finally being taken out does allow Cignal to really just take control in all of the jungles now. So they can definitely just start farming up quite safe. There are a couple of wards left around the area though, but they do have that gem up on Grimm's. So they managed to take control of the ward game once again.
We do have a pause coming up, Jamesy. What?
There's a spider.
Prepare for
There's a spider. Jamesy. Oh my god, gamba daw. Oh my goodness.
Can't play Ember Spirit if there's a spider laying around, John.
You know, nice. There you go. Got the spider.
Wow.
All is well.
Pull a timeout?
Yeah, it's not like we don't have those inhuman things like Huntsman and Redbacks.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of cute that you guys pause for spiders. We just play through it in Australia. We just put up with it while they're crawling all over us. Can spiders in the Philippines even kill you?
I don't think so, actually. We don't have anything like Redbacks.
Well, that's very cute, John.
I know. I know.
Where's my pension?
Huh. Well, TNC, with the entire map cleared out now in terms of towers for them, it's going to be a bit harder for them to contest certain objectives. That Roshan is going to be the big one, of course. We'll find out when it respawns in a minute and a half. The good thing for TNC is that they can hold this high ground forever. KP might go for a kill here.
Eris.
Oh, they melt.
He doesn't get much Riptides out, but he does find the kill just mid-leap. They may try to punish Van. BKB's up.
On to an
He
illusion.
jewels the illusion.
There's BKB on Nando as well. They used a lot to try to find that kill that wasn't actually a thing.
Yeah, KP just playing mind games with the Naga Siren. This is a bit rough as Nando does pick up a Blink Dagger now on the Gyrocopter. Fair enough. Needs that mobility he feels. It is one of those games where everyone's just kind of flying around the map. You need something for this gyro to break the distance. Jamesy, random sleight of fist into the trees, perhaps? Yes, there will be. He finds Gabby. Remnant's out.
Huh. Would have been a pretty solid kill. Or at least forcing Gabby to use his 10-second BKB. That would have been a win in and of itself. Regardless, it looks like Cignal is just going to be setting up around that Roche Pit. Still about 20 seconds until we find out when it will be up.
From blaze to inferno.
With the pace of this game going the way it is, we are starting to see the sports really build up. Tim's, this entire match, he had the Hex queued up. He actually bought a Blink instead, is going for that Ags. into Mjolnir. So he's very confident this game would go long enough for him to be a machine gun, which is fair enough. And you take a look, of course, at the supports on the side of Cignal. They're doing well. You already have the Ags on Grims and such, but they only have so much more to grow. That Moonlight Shadow is spotted out by the God's Wrath.
While they did Moonlight Shadow, the Octarine Core just came out on Jamesy now.
Never had
So
a
everyone's getting 6 slotted on the side of Cignal Ultra. Meanwhile, KP's really the only one getting to that stage on the side of TNC.
Perfect.
Roshan will probably be the next play for this Radiant side. It will be up in about 6 seconds from now. So bot lane, Tim's kind of just showing himself, Remnant forward, he blinks out, Shadow Realm into the TP, though Arrow connects, Eris, he finds him. Tim's will be punished for his insolence. In fact, Van wants to have a duel, and he will indeed get the victory.
166 damage in this LC. It's going to be very hard to face up against.
And over here, Radiant's top tower.
I won't lie.
Gabby,
Radiant's top tower.
Bisha finds Eris. Van is here, but doesn't have Jewel available right now. Arrow, though. Gabby will dodge. Mel was already TPing out anyway. They still want this Earthshaker, and here comes Nando. BKB up from Gabby, though. Force him to get the hell out of there with that, and there's a 10-second charge being used up. Meanwhile, KP ends up finding one. Pops the song. Jamesy is going to make the chase. This is still a very risky play to make. KP may just turn around and fight this. Chains are going to be there. Van, BK, Jewel is there. 3 remnants out as well from Jamesy, and they blow him up. They find him. And with that straight to the Roshan pit, it will be for the side of Cignal Ultra.
It's going to be a very straightforward take. They can be contention from TNC because they still have that Echo Slam up on Gabby. BKB is on a 20-second cooldown though, so they're gonna have to wait that out if they want to contest, but they might just jump in. They might be forced to.
Well, Ice Path March slows it down. Nando though pops the BKB. Gabby wanted to jump in but couldn't quite. Still, Aegis is taken by Nando. Now they go for the full-scale team fight. Gabby about to drop and does. They get the Aegis though. Tims does get Eris on the Mirana. Jamesy will take care of Tims on the Dark Willow. They get another duel for Van on that LC. And at this point, I think Van may have wished he went for that +4 to duel damage, as it would have really been paying off right now. Still though, a 4-man wipe. They are going to go straight through that mid lane.
Definitely will. Gonna be a straightforward push. Do not have the buyback on the Shaker. They do have the buybacks on the other 2 heroes though.
I suppose the AoE press the attack is pretty darn good as well.
Dire's middle barracks are under
Surely you go for more here. Signal
Playing
they
safe.
did not. They did
playing
the same
really
thing last game.
Yeah, they're
Pay
giving
off.
opportunities to TNC to bounce back in. I mean, they're gonna go for those shrines, but I guess they're scared of that high ground defense. You have to respect the Zeus with the Nimbus and the Arc Lightning spam. You have to respect the... You know, the buyback for KP was still available, he just didn't opt to use it. So he had a patience for that. But taking this game slow does give TNC ways back in. And we saw what happened last time when you give them way back in. They just find one good fight and force everything away from you. So you have to be very cautious about that with Cignal. You have to know when to push your advantage while TNC is down. You keep them down and try to get as much done as possible. As we are at the 46-minute mark, just in the snap, just like that.
Does feel like it went pretty darn fast, and another pause will come out this time from TNC. This time the call will be lag.
Our gift from the night.
Balance. What did you learn?
So 46 minutes in, 16k net worth lead. Cignal Ultra though, if they can't take those high ground advantages when they have the chance, I don't know if if they can pull off this victory, because TNC, you give them one opportunity. I mean, they're up against the Naga Siren. KP can split push for the next day if he wants to. He can just keep pushing out waves over and over again with this Naga. And although you are basically 6-slotted on all your cores on the side of the Radiant, TNC don't really seem to mind. I mean, they haven't lost to Rax yet, even though they're 16k behind.
They definitely don't seem to mind. Dota Plus doesn't seem to mind as well, Mike. 47% chance for TNC, 53% chance for Cignal. How is this game still dead even? How was the first game dead even? But I don't reckon it's wrong. Yeah, that's the feeling I get. It's not exactly wrong because TNC still has a lot of power. Even if they have the 17k deficit, they are holding their own just fine.
It looks like Nando from the Gyrocopter is going for the Abyssal Blade as his perhaps final item.
Allies.
Doesn't actually have the a Moonshot or anything like that up yet. Just wants that added form of Disable, especially up against that Earthshaker that's just continuously jumping in on top of him. Bot lane, looks like they almost found the Dark Willow. Instead, they will have to suffice for the Jakiro. Ice Path, though, will slow things down, but Van will pick up another victory.
Yikes, just 2 slashes and out goes March. That has been the story for March throughout these 2 games, isn't it? Just deleted off the map.
That's his job, John. He's doing a great job.
It's a great job, but it doesn't sound fun.
No, it doesn't. Cignal, they smoke up. No vision of that smoke. TNC. How will they react? They're already kind of waiting in the tree line right now. So Armel could pop the ultimate to find out, and well, the smoke is broken now. Nando couldn't quite find out where they were fast enough. Tim's actually just going to go back in anyway. Throws in the brambles. Armel, a lot of damage. Just with that lightning bolt being thrown out on Nando.
He does have that arc lightning talent now at 25, so every arc does 300 damage. Pretty nice.
It is very nice indeed. KP has almost 8k gold now. So Bloodthorn coming up for him. And I mean, he can basically just buy it. He's holding on to buyback gold, which is fair enough. Eris gonna blink forward. They are gonna go straight after Gabby once again on that Earthshaker. Gabby just gonna walk out.
Oh,
now Marana,
God.
Gabby, he jumps back into no. Disruption saves the day for the Marana for now, but no. Mel will find the kill. Now KP, he'll go after Grims, clean up that Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, Van does end up finding Tims on the Willow. And Jamesy is still going after this Earthshaker. Gabby really wants to kill him, the Shadow Demon. Still doesn't TP away quite yet as Jamesy going to continue the chase. BKB up. Gabby trying to man fight this. It's not going to work out well for him as he does go down. And KP Remnant forward from the Ember. They keep going. He does have a heart, but he can't really get away, so they'll take down another in March. Now just go after Armel, who's just throwing out all these spells left, right, and center. Burst him down as well. There's only one man left, and that is KP. He won't even TP out. He'll split push first. TP later. That's 4 heroes down for the side of TNC. And Van, well, now KP will show himself.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The funny thing is, they don't even want to try to go up against KP, even 4v1. They just want to go after a tier 3 or a Rax. Problem is, they don't have any creeps, because they're versing a Naga Siren.
This is... I mean, Nando's trying. God bless his heart. He's trying.
Barracks are under attack.
One hero can't eat... Oh, no, finally. They go through it.
Dire's middle barracks.
Go for the tier 4. That's the play, Nando. This is the way you do it. Don't waste any time.
I really ought to do something.
KP will threaten. Chains will come out, just holding that Naga Siren in place. She'll have Song in 6 seconds to Armel. He'll blink out when he sees the Remnant. They'll find the first Rax of the game. And Cignal now.
Dire's bottom
Looking like they're in a prime position. 26k net worth lead at that 51-minute mark. The gyrocopter currently has 38k worth of net worth. Wonder how far he can take this.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes pretty far. One rack's down now, TNC, but they are still looking strong. They have found Eris once again.
Yeah, well, Moonlight Shadow popped, but they will find the kill. The rest of Cignal will not initiate any further.
Afterburners! Comforting rune.
Nando, where are you going, sir? Back to the mid lane.
Oh, Tim's caught out again.
Van, he's got a lot of dual damage. He's hitting for over 500 per right click. It's nothing to laugh at. And Nando, he's had enough, John. He's just split pushing as a gyrocopter now.
Oh, Dyer's courier is
Gets the courier as well.
impressive in it.
They are chasing this gyrocopter though, but this could be bait. TNC around the area. There's the echo coming out. Nando, he's so darn low, but he pops the satanic. He'll turn this one around. The remnant forward from the Ember. He wants March. Meanwhile, KP with the song holding them all back. And well, Jamesy, can he find a kill? He will, of course, take March on first. Now Armel, but Armel blinks out. KP's low, though. The Naga, she's gone. She'll bounce back immediately. And TNC cannot afford to die anymore on these cores as the buybacks are starting to run out. Remnants forward again, but Armel will just blink back. Though, Jamesy, he'll just keep dodging and dodging and dodging. As Nando, he'll just jump straight in like a man. March is already so darn low, but now he may be in trouble. He doesn't have his BKB charge available. Gabby will jump in. Nando again just manning up Jamesy. He finds the kill onto March. It was a dieback on the Jakiro. And that's going to be the second racks down. One more to go for Megas. Though Gabby, he doesn't seem to be done. He can't find anyone to pick off. And we've gotten so far into the game, John, that Grims has a refresher orb now on the Shadow Demon. So you have six purges.
Ah,
6.
sounds pretty balanced to me. Of course, Grims has been doing a lot of work. And Cignal just taking it slow and steady. They know they have the advantage now, a very clear advantage. Dota Plus finally agrees. 75% up against a 25% chance of TNC winning. They definitely got the upper hand here. They can go into that Roche Pit. It does have that refresh orb as well. They will go in. It should melt. How long will it take with this LC? Not very long.
No, definitely not. Van is hitting like an absolute truck. Nimbus will come in, but TNC does not have time to react to this. Cignal, Nando already making space for that Aegis.
Mortality!
Don't leave the rest behind, boys. There's still more. Crims, yeah, he's going to take the refresher shard. So now he's got 9 purges, because 6 wasn't enough. Not sure if he has the mana pool for that, but you could probably make the argument TNC's going to be walking pretty darn slow in these team fights, John. There's also 6 disruption charges that's going to be here with these refreshers.
Bounty.
That's going to be lovely. Just a lot of utility coming out from Grims this time around. Of course, the most basic thing he needs to do is really just clone these KP illusions in the first place. That would be enough.
Nando. KP and Gabby around Nando. Nando's just moving forward. He just doesn't care. Call down is going to come out. Fisher's just stopping for a moment, and the song comes out as well. But you've got to be worried about Van, who does
Van.
BKB up. He wants that duel so darn bad on KP. He'll keep chasing after it. Nimbus is there to slow him down. Now the Remnant's forward as well. Jamesy, he can't find it. KP just juking around. March, he'll probably be the first one down. Van, he just wants one dual target. Meanwhile, Armel, though, he finds Grim, so forget about all those purges we talked about. Jamesy, he does find March. Now Nando, who does he aim for? Gabby, KP, they're all fighting. Van does end up going down on the LC, and TNC are bringing it back their way as Jamesy, he finds Armel, but Gabby has Echo up and ready to go. Nando falling down low. He will Echo in the end. He finds the Aegis. James is down as well, thanks to the Bloodthorn. In KP.
Nando?
Well, Nando looks like he is going to go down, though. He is satanicking. He's lining up. KP going to end up going down as well, or maybe not. He'll make a run for it. They get him with a Dagon. There's no buyback available apart from Gabby and Tim's. Cignal. They've done it, John. Surely they can finish this game.
Only two heroes for the defense. You don't have the Nagasarian, the biggest hero there. You don't have the Echo Slam.
Nando buys the Divine. He's had enough. He's manning up.
Finally.
Remnant forward. Tim's. He's not laughing anymore, John. It's the Fountain Dive. Jamesy, be careful about that. Gabby.
That's it.
How do you slow this down? The Ancient, I mean, it's just so much damage, and Cignal Ultra will be able to pull off a Game 2 victory. They'll find another duel on Tim's, and that'll be the end of that. They take one game off TNC before the group stages end.
They've given TNC the run of their money here, Cignal. Giving TNC their only draw in series. Unfortunately, I do believe that means Geek Fam is going to be stuck there at the 4th place. So, they're going to have to play in Phase 2 tomorrow, I believe. They do have to play against the other 4th placer on Group B side. So, whoever won between SGD and Boom is what Alpha X hashed out. No, is what. No. It's like Geek Fam's fine. Geek Fam's totally fine. They don't need to.